I'll admit, man, like I'm pretty beat up. Ended up dropping my carbs a lot, just trying to make sure that I'm depleting a little bit so I can come in tighter and thin the skin out a little bit more. So that's been like obviously key and doing that. I've been doing a lot of cardio. Like I said, I mean, I pretty much cut my carbs in half. So, man, I'm dying. And part of me just realizes that no sacrifice, no reward. And that's what it's all about. Just because you have different things going on in your life or your diet's different and it hurts, doesn't mean that you can't come in here and kill it. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna get better today. We're not gonna let up. We're not gonna make excuses. We're gonna come in here, kill some hamstrings and some calves, and blow these suckers up, man. So we're gonna start off, we're gonna do some lying leg curls. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some front-loaded sevens, meaning we're gonna start off with our FHT7 protocol and actually do 7 sets of 40 to 45 seconds rest, using about, I'd say 85% of our maximum weight. And that's definitely gonna wake these bad boys up. We're gonna get, really good contraction, really good squeeze, but really good fullness throughout that particular exercise. Then we're gonna move over and do some standing leg curls, some lying, some standing leg curls. Then we're gonna do some seated leg curls, and then finish off with some stiff-legged deadlifts. And then we're gonna throw in some calves too. I think you guys would like that, so let's get it. What I've learned to do is kind of point my toes a little bit as I'm doing the exercise. Puts more stress on the hamstring, and it builds that bulk like right behind the kneecap. One thing I like about this particular exercise is that you get to work, obviously, each leg individually. So obviously, if you're lagging certain detail of thickness on the left or right side, you can do more reps or more sets. This isn't an exercise that I feel that you have to load up the weight with, but more importantly, you have to get the best amount of contraction with. So unlike the FSC7 protocol, what we're doing for the rest of this hamstring workout is trying to get some cardio out of it too. So we're only gonna rest about a minute. That's gonna obviously prevent us from going too heavy, but it's gonna really make us focus in on the form. Use this machine for every show, just about. And what I noticed on this one is that you can really mess around with getting good, really maximum contraction. As we squeeze, we're gonna hold it for like about a half a second longer than normal. We're not gonna use momentum, but more importantly, we're not gonna use our heels. We're gonna use a pointed toe effect and try to bring out more of that thickness, like I said before, behind that knee. It's gonna create more hang to your hamstring. So when you're hitting these side shots, you're gonna have some mad sweep going on. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use a wider stance. I noticed that it just changes it up for me a little bit, but also notice that it gives me a better stretch on the way down. You definitely don't want to come all the way up when you're doing this exercise, otherwise it almost seems like more of a deadlift and you're engaging your lower back too much. completes our hamstring portion of today's leg day. Now we're gonna get some calves in. I'm totally locked in right now. I'm totally bought into being Mr. Olympia, and I gotta win this damn thing. I gotta do it. You know, that's what I tell myself every day. This is a good exercise because I noticed that you can get really good contraction throughout the whole entire movement. You know, all the time I just tell myself, not that you're going to, but you have to. I mean, everything depends on you having to win and you being your ultimate best. All right, you guys. That does complete our ham and calf day here over at Armbrust Pro Gym, 3 weeks out from the 2011 Mr. Olympia contest. Okay, we are, I want to say less than 15 days out from the Mr. Olympia contest. We're here over at Armbrust Pro Gym getting ready to kill some chest. Definitely tired right now. I'm usually getting about 6 hours of sleep continuous, but like I'm napping through the day in between meals and whatnot. And, you know, life is crazy right now. I've been doing a lot of interviews. Was on Pro Bodybuilding Weekly with Dan Solomon, Lee Thompson, and Chad Nichols talking about the Olympia. That went really well. Doing a lot of different stuff here locally. Pretty much doing the business of bodybuilding, you know. My motivation right now is just through the roof. Every day, probably like 10, 20 times a day, I'm sitting there and visualizing being the champ, being called the new Mr. Olympia. And that's a feeling that I didn't really have until last year as standing on that stage with Jay. And I think this is a good thing. It's good that I can visualize these things because when it happens, I was prepared for it. And, you know, coming in here, killing it in the gym, you know, it's definitely gonna pay off. My weight's, now we're actually under 260 pounds. I've been depleting a lot, trying to make sure we thin out the skin a lot. So not a whole lot of carbs either, no more pastas, just basically you know, some oats and brown rice. So, I mean, here we are 2 weeks out. You're not gonna build a whole lot of muscle, but what you are gonna do is create that fullness and that density and that hardness that you need to perform. So, enough said, man. We gotta go get swole, man. I'm ready to kill it. Woo! Oh! Yeah! Oh! 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 Easy! At this point in the prep, I mean, I probably shouldn't even be doing. This is definitely heavy. I mean, come next week, I'm going to probably lighten it up a little bit. Last thing you want to do is get injured. Get injured, man. I can't win the Olympia, man. Are you kidding? Crazy? It's also 2 weeks out, a lot less body fat. You can be dehydrated. Definitely got to be smart. We're really trying to focus on is making sure we get a good stretch on these and then actually contracting on the way up. Developing a little bit more of the width in the chest, but also contracting to get the inner part of the pec. Trying to keep your chin up actually helps with a lot of that and getting a good squeeze instead of tensing up the whole time. We don't want want to keep your arms locked out. We don't have it slightly bent so we can get it further stretched down and then come all the way up to the top. Had to do an extra one to be number 13. I'm all about detail, detail, detail right now. All about detail, but making sure everything's full at the same time. I like doing these, especially toward the end of a prep, because I feel like this allows me to draw an extreme amount of detail. And that's something I've been known for throughout my whole entire career. Yeah! You know, typically I would use a lot more free weights and stuff, but like I said, I mean, the last thing we want to do is get injured 2 weeks out before contest. So we're going to do this for some sevens and, you know, kill it. So it'll be chilling just like this, and then you just go boom like that. So I get up on stage and hit that most muscular shot that jumps out at you. It looks freaking nasty. Three more to finish it. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that right there concludes our 2-week out chest routine. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad that one was over. You know, energy was down coming on in here, but I knew once I started getting in those working sets, it was gonna be on, and that's what you guys gotta do. You know, when you walk in this gym, regardless if you know, getting ready for Mr. Olympia, or you just trying to, you know, gain 5 extra pounds of muscle for the summer. You know, you gotta come in here with a good focus and have pride and purpose with everything you do in here. And I guarantee you're gonna get results. And I feel like having that mindset every day, just trying to be better than the previous one, the previous workout, the previous day. And I feel like it's given me a ton of different gains, and it's allowed me to bring forth a physique that I never thought I could ever bring. And you know, right now, you know, this is the biggest and the best that I've ever been at this weight, right under 260. And you know, my work's not finished. I still got 15 days, and you know, all I think about is being number 13, not 13th place, but being the 13th Mr. Olympia. All right, you guys, what's up? We're here over at Armbrust Pro Gym, getting ready for back training day. Today is August 23rd, 2011. We're roughly about 3 weeks away from the Mr. Olympia contest in Las Vegas, Nevada. Feeling pretty good. A little tired today, a little beat up, but that's expected given the fact that you know, we're training for the biggest show in the world, and you're giving it every bit of ounce of energy you can. I've been doing a lot of cardio twice a day now. My trainer, Honey Rambut's been cracking the whip on me from all the way from California all the way to Denver. So I just been, you know, killing myself in this gym, and so far so good. I mean, I feel that you know, I'm looking the best I've ever looked. My weight is just a tad under 260 pounds, and given the fact that I've been depleting this whole time, I can actually take that, and that would be around 9 to 10 pounds larger than what I was around this time last year. So I'm really excited about that. Like I said, we're gonna train back. We're gonna start off with some chins, and we're gonna steamroll through this workout. We're gonna kill it. We're gonna be really intense. We're gonna do a lot of rowing movements, and I'm gonna show you why this workout is gonna help me win the Mr. Olympia contest. So here we go. I usually like starting back off with some lighter chins just to warm up for everything else. I think it's a good way to widen and thicken up the lats a little bit, but also get a good stretch. So then when you get into your rowing movements and stuff, you're already ready to rock.
typically you guys would see someone doing bent rows overhand. Well, although I do find that effective, I realize that doing them underhand, you may recruit a little bit of bicep in it, but you start hitting more of the lower lats, and you go from 07 pictures to 08. But the biggest difference was, I say, was my back development, and it was from doing these rows. We did everything with both arms, and now we're working each one individually. So now I get to focus on which side may be stronger, which side may be having a little bit harder time. I want to make sure that I'm symmetrical, make sure that everything is balanced. It's going to test your will because you just did barbell rows, and you're not going to be as strong, but mentally you can get through it and you can definitely put up some weight. Oh, you ain't shit. Obviously, I go get a lot of chiropractic work done, and that's to keep the back in the perfect alignment so then the nerves actually function correctly. So therefore, each side can perform at its best. But it's up to me to make sure that I'm actually feeling the contraction. Instead of having our full chest and abdomen hitting the pad, what I've learned to do is have my butt sticking out a little bit further on the pad, with me leaning in to the pad with my chest just grazing this part. And what that's allowing me to do is, instead of being up here, going here, now I get to go here and get even more of a stretch, pulling all the way in. Trying to do some lat pullovers, and what we're trying to focus here is just get a really good contraction, really good stretch. Try to thicken up this rib cage in here and try to expand it a little bit. And there we go. This is definitely something that I feel that can help your poses in regards to your ab and thigh. Anytime you put your hands above your head, you can have more thickness, more development, along with your front lower biceps. So this is definitely an exercise, along with doing dumbbell pullovers too. I think that everyone should incorporate in the back routine. That completes our 3.5 week out back training for the 2011 Mr. Olympic contest. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure did. The pain is definitely in me right now, but I think I beat up some weights today. So from here, I'm gonna do a little bit of posing and take some pictures for my trainer, Hani Rambod, and get some online consultation from him and have him critique my weak areas. And right now what we're really trying to focus in on is just tightening up the skin as much as possible. Glutes, hamstrings, calves, everything, lower back fat, just try to strip all that away and figure out what meals we have to change up and how much cardio do we have to do, how much sauna treatment we have to do, all these things. We got to cross all our T's and dot the I's to be our best. And I know he trains Jay Cutler as well, but his job is very difficult. But in a sense, it's not that hard because all he's doing is just making sure that he and I are at our best, and whatever happens, happens. But I can tell you this, I definitely felt that I got better today. Hopefully you guys felt that way too once you try this workout. And on to the next one. Here we are, we're gonna do delts. We're gonna go through a ton of different exercises, a ton of different movements. We're gonna start with some presses, do laterals, a couple different rear delt exercises, front raises, more presses, shrugs, you name it. I mean, really what we're trying to do with this particular workout is create a lot of volume. Being the fact that I'm not structurally, tall and like, super wide and stuff, the good thing is that I've been able to create, an illusion and create the round muscle bellies that I have and try to accentuate that with a narrow waist. And that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to displaying at the Mr. Olympia in less than 5 weeks is, real tiny waist, but then like real round boulder shoulders. And this definitely is one of my favorite workouts to do that. So we're gonna get started. No matter if you're having a good day or a bad day, the numbers on the weight are the same. So even when you're having a bad day, the smallest weight can seem heavy. And on a good day, a good day's a good day, but the goal is to make sure that even on those bad days, those days that you're dieting and you're hurting and you want to give up or whatever, that you make those days your best workout. You find something in you that step up. You have to be in shape all year because all it takes is for some guy with a camera to go post your pics up on YouTube or something, and people talk trash. So you gotta make sure that you're looking at the bodybuilder every day. You see guys, they're hunching when they go heavy. They can't just steadily turn it. And really, you're using this pinky right here to turn it. You're like almost pouring the dumbbell out. I've been doing them a lot more seated because there's less movement as far as like momentum, and then involving more of the traps and the hips and the knees and stuff, just to get the weight up. With this exercise, I'm trying to, lean over and come right about here. Just a little bend in the elbows. You don't want to go flat because it's people's tricep, I've noticed, but just a little bit of a bend. A lot of people will have like this part, but they neglect what they can't see. And the delt, especially from the side, they don't have much thickness to it. So that's something I noticed that I needed. So what we're doing on this one, using the camera bar, keeping the hands pretty close in, and just going up to here. You don't need to go too high, but right about here is good. And obviously, we're working this side of the delt. So then, when you're standing there, you see that split that I have right there. That's this chunk right here. That's what we're trying to work on. Feeling a lot stronger. I think by not doing the Arnold Classic or any other show allowed me to be fresh for this prep. I noticed by pulling back here, I can really target the rear delt. So, and with it being on this machine with the cables, I got each arm working independently. Obviously, if you're doing it right, you feel it tugging at your rear delts. If you're doing it wrong, you're gonna feel it more in your tricep. That's it, that was 4. So now we do some 7s on the side bends. I'm laughing because it doesn't look like much, but on this particular machine, because the way it's set up, it's heavy. That's the good thing about 7s, like, first couple sets I can test it out, test my strength out, and then if I need to go up, I can go up, you know? But once I go up, I ain't going down. Man. Man, that's heavy. I'm gonna force these delts to grow doing this. Most important set of the damn workout. It's a damn Olympia, man. Second place ain't good enough. I'm getting those last 2. Even though I got 8, I came back and did the heather too. Gotta finish strong, man. Gotta finish strong every workout. Can't screw around. I know the rest of the guys, they would have done the same thing. They better. All right, you guys, we are 7 days and probably less than 10 hours away from the Mr. Olympia contest. Pretty crazy right now. Feeling very, very good about how things are looking. Been obviously working my butt off just like everybody else. Today we're gonna train some arms. This is definitely something that I'm sure a lot of you guys like to train. So do I. You know, I love rolling around with big guns, man. So that's what we're gonna train today. We're gonna have some fun with this one. Usually arm days for me are more of a fun workout because I'd probably say more genetically blessed with having them as a strong point to where I don't have to kill them all the time. And I can kind of treat it, especially a week out from the show, not like a day off, but I don't really have to go too crazy. But I'm gonna go crazy for you guys today, man. I'm gonna kill it. So we're gonna start off. We're gonna do some standing barbell curls, and we're gonna get after it, man. Just making sure contractions are good, you're getting a good pump. You're not just going through the motions, but you're making sure that your technique is on point so you can get a good pump and those carbs and proteins can be flushed into that muscle. Guys roll around saying that they got 20-inch bicep or 20-inch arm. I'm like, man, that's a fat arm. That ain't contest ready arm, it's a shredded arm. I say on this particular exercise, the arm being extended out more, and with this pad being on your elbow, you're already locked in. There's no body movement really, so it's just pure isolation. I'm just trying to, stimulate, not necessarily annihilate the muscle right now. You got to keep in mind, body fat's very, very low. Probably less than 3% right now. So it's probably not really smart to try to do PRs the week before the show, but we definitely can still get some good intensity. I like doing them on this particular bench because it allows me to have right here, and then I can get full extension right down here. So we're going to use kind of a narrow grip on this. And this is definitely something I like. Really like changing it up with. So this can be done with barbells and dumbbells, so you guys can switch it up. Sponsored by Chic, right? I'm gonna need them to make me a special belt. This thing is getting a little mean, the waist is getting too small for it. Uh-oh. So what we're trying to target on this exercise is that slab right there. That's what they usually see first, you know, because you're wearing a t-shirt and everyone's like, oh my God, look at his arms, you know. But I just think that that particular area definitely has set me apart from a lot of the guys in the arm department. See you train, just know that we're going for technique first, especially anyone that's doing contests a week out before the show. Because if you get hurt, you can't train, man, you're done. You can't pose on stage, you can't show the muscles with it being torn. So we got to be smart. We got to be real smart right now. This particular exercise is like doing skull crushers, but we're doing it kind of like on an incline bench. I guess you're starting to see me use this bench a little bit more often. What this is doing is giving your body that natural curvature to your spine, so you don't have to really arch your back too bad. I usually find dips being one of the harder movements, but I'd probably say one of the better ones to do once you're actually warmed up. I'm hoping to have cake with this little tiny trophy named Eugene Sandow. That's all I freaking think about right now, is holding that trophy and it actually being mine. Jay actually offered to loan me one of his just so I could see what it would feel like to have one. I told him, nah, it's cool. You keep that one, I'm gonna have my own. All right, that does it for our bis and tris session. 7 days and 8 hours away from the Mr. Olympia contest. I freaking want this bad, man. You guys have no idea. Well, hopefully, maybe you guys do. But you just have to think, if there's something you guys ever wanted in your life, more than anything, I mean, times that by 1,000, man. By infinity, because I'm trying to be the best in the world at something. And not to discredit anyone that's ever tried to bust their ass for something, man. This is just, I just want to be called the best in the world at something. Nothing else matters but becoming number 13. And I know I have a great opportunity. I just don't want to mess it up. And I just know that everybody else is training their butt off too. But to be honest, I can't really worry about them. I can only be concerned with what Phil Heath's doing, what I'm eating, what I'm training, how I'm sleeping, how I'm feeling. No matter what's going on in my life, nothing else matters, man. I mean, I got a family and stuff, and they matter. They mean the world to me.
But really nothing outside of those two things, this show and my family.